My journey at Chrysler, now Stellantis, started in 2017 at Warren Truck. I was a TPT for 3 years until I was given the opportunity to become full-time. In those 3 years, I noticed a lot of opportunity. I noticed people making a career, a life, taking advantage of possible advancement to do better for the people. We are in a contract year, and it's important for strong leadership to take on these very important offices. I will add value to Local 51. Being given the opportunity, that's what I will do, represent well. I am approachable, a great listener, and an effective communicator. These 3 key attributes I bring with my candidacy. I stand by and live for solidarity in and outside the union. You all are my brothers and sisters, and I am asking for your vote May 15th. My name is Vaquita Q. Taylor, number 27, and I approve this message. Do you know how powerful you are? Well, you are very powerful with your voice and your vote. I need you to come out May 15th. My name is Vaquita Q. Taylor, number 27 on the ballot, and I'm running to become your new recording secretary for Local 51. Thank you.
Hey. Give it up, give it up. Welcome to Creative Emotions. I am your host, Vaquita Q. Taylor, and as you can see, I got a couple things brewing. So I want you guys, if you are not busy, Monday, come on down. 4 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. We're going to be at Local 7. I am running for recording secretary. Again, just another opportunity to evolve in the place that we are. I believe that job is just over broke. That's where we go. We get our money. And it should be sometimes our means to purpose, right? And so having this time in this field, I said, I'm gonna keep moving. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to stay in this space, but I know that it's a good organization. So I'm gonna keep moving, and I'm gonna see where this takes me. And I'm just going with the flow of life and enjoying the process. And I hope you are too. Again, I want to welcome you to Creative Emotions, where you will get motivation, information, you will get encouragement, empowerment, transparency, and you're gonna get these good vibes. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Ain't nothing you can do. I pray your week has been delightful. I have in the building Chef Wilson.
Yes.
And 2 special guests, Shar and Webster. I want you to give it up for them. What up, dog?
How you doing?
Hey. You can do that square. Where they at? Let me see them. Make sure you share this with your family and your friends. If this is your first time watching, hit the like and subscribe button. So I want to welcome you guys to the show. Welcome, Shar.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
What's up, Chef?
Oh, you asked me that?
I asked you that.
Man, it's warm weather, potential, possibilities, them sun rays, smiles. I can go on and on.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it. That's another show.
What up, Webster?
What's going on?
How you feeling?
I feel good.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity.
That's what's up. Today's show is about making time and what that looked like. I'm gonna let Chef go ahead and start this off. You know what I'm saying? Get the vibes rolling.
You know, when I thought, when you said that, so making time, I'll say, it actually starts with yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is purging, right? So we have to clear out some mental space in order to make time, right?
Definitely.
So, yeah, and it's going to look different for everyone. It's going to look different. All depends on what you need to purge, okay? It all depends on what you need to purge. Remember that, right? So if you're making time, you're actually making space.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're making space. Now, you can be making space for your business, your dreams, your goals, or it could be a potential mate coming into the picture, right? But you must start with yourself. I had to look at myself several times, and I do it pretty much every day. But I took a hard look about 1.5 years ago, and it was some things that God purged out of my life, and then the rest I had to take my time, slow down, and purge it. For you guys listening today, I always talk about looking in the mirror, and sometimes it's an ouch moment, but it's okay, right? So you may have to purge out some thoughts, mindsets you have from the past, and you may have gotten them from other people or situations in your life. So let's start with the purge, start with you before we look at anyone else.
That's good. That's good. I believe making time, you got to make time, be deliberate, and intentional. So I want to ask you guys, what is your relationship status? I'm going to start with you to my right, Mr. Webster.
I like the term happily married.
You better come on.
All right, now.
You hear me?
I am very happy and very married.
You better come on. He put the happily on the married. That's what I'm talking about, speaking life.
It's important.
Thank you, sir.
That brother said very.
Yes.
Very happily.
Very. Can't forget that part.
Let me not forget the very. Very happily married. Y'all better take some notes, fellas. Listen, speak that life. Don't be all reluctant when people ask you. You know you married now. You know it. Start speaking life in your marriage.
That's right.
Relationship status, I am divorced and single. What you say, Shar?
I'm single.
Okay.
Divorced and peaceful.
I like that. Now I gotta have peaceful to mind, okay? Dang, y'all just came through with You done came through with it. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So when you think about that relationship status, that changes things because you have a little bit more, a little bit less on your plate, right?
Correct.
So how can you speak to that, Webster, being married, very happily married?
Very happily married.
How can you speak to that? Making time. What does that look like to you?
Well, when it comes to making time, it's all about prioritizing your priorities. When I first got married, I didn't know what to throw away and what to keep. So as I grew in being in the role of a husband, that helped me decide what to throw away and what to keep.
Got you. That makes sense.
She deserved this type of man, just like I deserved that type of woman. So as we sat down and I'm not a family-oriented man. I just wasn't grew up.
Oh, you saying initially?
Yeah, I wasn't grew up with hugs and kisses.
Okay.
Whereas my wife, she was. So that was really big for her, but it wasn't really big for me. And that's her love language.
Right.
So I had to learn what to throw away and what to keep and then where to grow at. And spending time with myself,
Yeah.
like the young man said, in the mirror. My mirror became my Bible. My mirror became hearing what my wife says with her ear and
You better come on.
with my ear and her and my heart.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to go in one ear and one out the other.
Okay.
So just listening to her and her words, I feel like that was my footprints to how I can become better.
Wow, that's so good. Give him some on that, honey. Just give him some.
Yes.
Because that sometimes
right there. Yeah.
women look at men who express themselves in this way like they're sensitive or whatnot. You got to be in touch with that sensitivity in order to really reach a woman, and that's what I want all men to understand. Bringing out your emotions and how you feel, being vulnerable in a sense. That's up to you to find the right woman to open that space up to. But don't lock it away though, because we suffer from it. Women that come into your life that just want to love you, those are the women that suffer from it. And so make that time to heal those spaces that may have been interrupted unfairly, and it sounds like you have. Yeah. You've grown into your thing, but just being able to, just making time to deal with that.
I like that. I was listening to him, and I was like, wow. Once upon a time, I said, that was my feelings. And I said, well, you know what? I often tell people, never leave the best part of you in a bad situation. Never leave that there, right? So I understand what you're saying, because you're not me being a man. I don't want the next woman to pay for what was put in my life, maybe for a lesson, maybe some red lights are turned, flags are turned green. She shouldn't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't pay attention, right?
Wow.
So, but then later on, paying attention to the lesson. So that's when I say you have to slow down and look in the mirror. And I like what you said, because you said I didn't know what to bring and what to leave.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So with my case being divorced, you want to come out, well, I got this tough skin. That'll never happen again, So it's very easy for you to lose the best part of you in a situation like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, Q, don't make the other person. You have to be mature enough to say, you know what, I'm keeping this.
Yeah.
Mature
You know,
enough.
you,
That's the thing.
Spring clean your mind, right? Some stuff just not gonna make the cut.
Yeah,
So
that's good. So making time, Shar. What does that look like to you?
For me, I realize the older I get, how valuable my time is from
Yeah.
day to day, and even in my relationships. After being in a relationship for over 25 years, I was married, I was divorced, and then unfortunately he passed shortly
wow.
after that. But initially, when you get married, you don't go in planning for the roadblocks.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
You have your life mapped out: the house, the car, the white picket fence. And you know, you have these things, and it comes
Yeah.
to a point that the rug is just snatched from up under you. And so, initially, newly single, I wasn't as structured, I wasn't as disciplined as I needed to be in my marriage, and I realized, unfortunately, after a few years had passed, how much time I had wasted.
Wow.
And so now my days are productive.
Okay.
I don't spend time with people just for the sake of spending time.
That part.
And self-care is just important. At the end of the day, I need to come home and reflect on what I did for just that day. Not tomorrow, not next week, but just today.
That's good.
I like that.
That's real good. So making time, we're talking about making time. If you are just joining, this is a live show. You can call in at 313-266-2811. If you want to talk about how you're making time, or if you are not making time, I hope that this show helps you to put yourself as a priority and those people around you, those people and things around you. Again, this is a live show. If this is your first time watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe and that like button. If I sent this to you, watch it, okay? Don't just keep liking it. Watch it. Because that's how important it is. But I want to talk about making time for me and what that looked like. I know I see it froze, but it's okay. Making time, and like I said, it's being intentional, it's being deliberate. For me, I put it in on the schedule. I don't care what I have to do. Certain days, I'm not doing nothing. And I don't care. And I have those boundaries because I can be a yes person. Oh, shoot, let me go help somebody. Especially being a believer, you just feel like every call is for you. Oh, man, I got to be there. If I'm not, you don't know what tests people going through. You don't know what people's stories are. And it's not up for us to always try to figure it out. But I had to learn. Am I extending myself too much where I get to a place of burnout? And so making that time for me is writing down, scheduling myself in, and being more deliberate with my time. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So if somebody's in my space, something is supposed to be taking place. If it's not, I feel bad because that's wasting people's time. So I'm mindful about my personal time and other people's time. So I deliberately write stuff in. That's what I do now. I just feel like even when life is throwing curveballs and we get into the same routine,
Right.
those things can get stale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially being married. We all been married.
Right.
And the same stuff over and over. I'm just saying. So how do you make that, make that, the Websters. Aware enough, many of us fail to make time for ourselves and others because of the lack of insight into ourselves, what we need to share. Is that your wife? They say the Websters.
Yes, sir.
Hey, girl, hey. Welcome to the show, because you in there. But yeah, when you think about...
But Q, I want to get back to what you were saying because I did write that down. And I just want to let people know how important it is to write down your schedule. And the reason why is because when distractions come, you can easily go back to it, right? Because they will come, right? It's just going to happen, especially if you have a family, you have children, you have a career, and then you have a business that you're running. It is so very important. Even if you got the smartphones, just put it in your notes.
Right.
So you don't have to say, what was I about to do?
Please write it down.
Get right back to it.
Write it down
So
ASAP.
I thank you for saying that. That is so very important.
You guys are making me appreciate my wife even more.
Yeah.
Because that's a weakness that I have, and
Okay.
I've always been do it off the top of my head.
Spontaneous.
Kind of guy. I'm a Leo, so I just feel like the world would just bend to me.
Yeah.
But my wife is very organized.
That's good.
You know, and we play off our strengths and weakness. Where I'm strong at,
Yeah.
she allowed me to flourish in a marriage in that.
That's so good.
Where she's strong at, I submit because that makes us whole.
Yeah.
So having that partner where you know that, okay, my wife is organized, so I remove my ego, I remove my pride.
That's what I was about
and
to say.
allow her to be able to say, hey, you're supposed to do this tomorrow. Well, I know you want to do this, but let's stay focused on these goals. And having that person that you could trust, that have the bigger picture in mind and aware of the smaller picture, it just makes it so much easier for me.
That's so
Yes.
good.
I
Shoot, for
feel the same
anybody,
way.
I'm sure all y'all men.
I feel the same way, and I like what you just said, because I know when God put us together, it's for growth. So
Yeah.
a lot of people say, man, I just need somebody just like me. So where's the growth?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people
That's
say that
true.
all the time, right? So
But he
Man,
said that ego and that pride,
you
though.
gotta let it go.
You have to let it go.
You gotta let it go.
That ego and that pride, that's a big thing.
Brothers,
Hey, that's,
brothers.
I think that's big for all of us. I ain't gonna lie.
No, but I got a lot of partners, and they ride on that ego, right? That usually
I
gets.
think we all kind of suffer.
I'm just talking.
You know, pride comes
Y'all know
before
who I'm
fall.
telling. Y'all know who I'm talking
Yeah,
to.
you gonna learn.
You're gonna learn.
You gonna learn today. What you want to or not? It's happening. No, nobody got time for that.
Lord, no, I had them days.
I listen. That's why I got to a point where, at first, I looked at a man. If we stay right here in this space, like you trying to tell me what to do, but then the man looked at me like this was in the past. The man looked at me like, "Who you think you are? You think you my mama?" When really. You should have been like, yes, my wife would be on it. This is what she
Absolutely.
do. You looked at it like we were against each other, and that hurts any type of marriage, relationship, or anything. So we got to be mindful about that. Making that time, making that space to allow your partner to thrive in whatever it is that they're strong at. It will make your life so much easier. If we just really stop fighting,
Right.
I know.
stop fighting these roles, and just let a person do what they're strong in. So if the man know how to cook, do he not supposed to cook? Because he not supposed to cook? I'm just saying, like, when you throw that away and say, you know what, my husband be throwing down in the kitchen. You take that off of you, that stigma that women's supposed to be just in the kitchen.
Speaking of roles, the whole gender roles is what's blocking people.
Yeah.
You know, I wash dishes. My wife would take out the trash if she feel like it need to be out.
Okay.
I'm not telling her, hey, you supposed to take out this trash.
Right.
But knowing that we're one,
Yeah, that's
waiting
good.
on me to do something when I'm doing 50 other different things is not going to help us. So attacking what's needed keeps us both energized.
That's good. That's good.
I think about when, as a believer, when God had Adam and he gave him the world, he gave him all these responsibilities. He had a one-on-one relationship with him.
Yeah.
He had everything a man could need, and God still looked at him and said, "This man is incomplete." So when he laid him down, he took a rib. And when I studied the rib is the strength and support system of the body. And that is what God has pulled the wife from. He pulled them from the strength and support system of that man. And if you don't submit to that and allow her to add strength to you, to add support to you,
That's
you
so
won't be
good.
whole.
You
Oneness
won't
is
be
what
whole.
You're looking for oneness.
Yes. I'm over here like, I like this brother.
You like, man, where this
Yeah,
brother?
man, let me tell you number. We're going to talk. But, we're talking about the schedules.
Yeah.
So if we can just go around the table, like, how do you start your day? Sarah, how do you start your day with your schedule? What does that look like for you?
A typical morning, I get up, I start my day in prayer, and then I walk the dog.
Okay.
Nice.
Not so nice, but I feel like I have a toddler.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's
and
discipline.
so then I have to prepare for work. And so, as I was saying earlier, it's important, however my day turns out, because we can't predict
Yeah.
what what you're gonna go through on an average day.
Right.
And I plan at the end of my day to reflect on the decisions I've made. Perhaps I could have reacted or responded to the situation perhaps differently or in a different manner. It's important to me. I journal at the end of the day, or sometimes in the morning too, but mostly at the end of the day, because I come home and sit at my desk at work and just think about, what transpired throughout the day. I've just become really better at structuring my day in a way that it's not chaotic.
Okay.
That I'm not overwhelmed.
Right.
Okay.
Because being at 50, it's my first time ever living on my own because, I divorced, but I still had my son at home until a year ago.
Okay.
And he provided a comfortable life for me. So I just remember one day I had to take out the trash and I cried.
Oh my goodness.
Because I didn't plan on a life. My plan
Yeah.
for myself was not to take out the trash.
And
And he had
ain't nothing wrong with that.
mentioned gender roles. Even though we both worked, I enjoyed cooking and doing the laundry, and doing those traditional things around the home.
Right.
And therefore, he didn't have to. But in return, he gave me the things that I wanted and that I need in the marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
was
what's up.
we, served one another.
Right.
Hey, that's some transparency. I
So
like that.
that's very, listen, I told you going to get some transparency on this, boy. It's going to be something you can identify with. So, Fred, when you think about all the things that are pulling for your attention, when you think about making time, what does that look like for you?
Wow. Present day or
Everything that you are in a day.
in the day? Wow.
Yep. Man first.
Yeah, I start
That's
my
a
day
whole-
and then my day is started with serving God. So I lay in the bed and I pray. And, after that, I'm a father because I'm not a husband, right? So I turn into a father right away and I start praying for my children. And then mentally on my notes, I write down what I need to do for them. By the time I get to the workplace, that's something different. Now they're pulling on me different, right? In the course of the day, I got 5 sisters, so my mom is recovering from a stroke. So that's thrown in, right?
Okay.
And then it's back to being a father, right? It's back to being a father. So in the course of the day, either maybe I may have received a text or something, or I just reminded myself of something that I need to do. Now I got to get back to me.
Okay.
My purpose, right? So either I'm writing down some recipes or I'm writing down some poetry, and then I got to get back to work, right? So, and then it's the personal you, right? So you got your children, your brother, your son, children and father, the same thing. You got your job put on you. Your career, same thing. Then you got your purpose. And somewhere along that way, I have to get back to me because I think that is different.
Okay.
Right?
It
When
is.
I say get back to me, that means me getting back to my mental health, whatever makes me happy, right? And usually for me is about this big, right?
Okay. That's
Because
honest.
I just have to be there for people. So then I give myself a little bit and then I get back to this.
Okay.
I get back to everything else. I'm probably leaving some things out of this.
I mean, that's still a lot, though. When you think
It's-
about making time, when you think about everything that's pulling on you in a day, right, Webster? When you think about in a day, how many hats are you putting on? How much is pulling at you that you have to make time for?
Well, one, I started taking off hats. I say about 2019, I kind of shrunk my world because I was giving out so much.
Yeah.
I probably would even let the family outside of the household affect my family in the household.
Yeah.
So then I began to shrink my world.
Okay.
And in doing that, I can see what my daughter needs. I can see what my son needs. I can see what my wife needs, and not even concerning
Okay.
about all those other hats. Once those, I pride myself on those 3 hats right there. Focusing on my relationship with myself, making sure that I'm healthy, because if I'm not mentally and emotionally healthy, I can't be emotionally available for my wife.
That's
I don't
true.
have the patience for my son, So I know that my daughter is watching me, and in her watching me, I want to make sure that my will, mind, and emotions are even keel.
Yeah.
You know, lining up my will for my life, making sure I'm making the decisions that I want and no one else is, you know, influencing my emotions. Understanding that my emotions is simply energy in motions, which means whatever I'm thinking about, my body is going to react.
Absolutely. And people need to know that. That's powerful.
Yes, that is.
That is powerful. Is it looked at? I mean, so I'll answer that as well. Just it's me personally. When I get up, I make sure I make time. I don't rush anymore. I used to be that one that rushed all the time, be all over the place. That was years ago. Now I get up before time. I make sure I have a journal next to my bed because if I have dreams, I write them down. I spend time with the Holy Spirit because I want him to go before me. Like, hey, go before me. But while I'm sitting here, let me know what it is that I need to do. Bring those people to me. Show me what I need. Give me what I need. I trust you in this day. So I make sure I make all of that known. Definitely spend that time with myself because that's the best time of the day. If you did not know, get up before time. Don't wait till time. Don't wait till the last minute. You missing out. So just from work to my children to leadership, me being in a leadership position, so that's getting pulled for me. Then having to make sure that I make time for these different things that I have going on as far as my purpose, as far as my clientele. And so all of these things pull for me, but I, as well, I feel like shrunk the different things I was giving my time and attention to. I just pulled back from useless conversations. I don't sit there and just talk about nothing on the phone. I feel like you're wasting my time and I'm wasting yours. I don't care about gossiping with people, so I cut that time. It's just like certain things we just got to cut so that we can make that time for ourselves. And so when you think about this being looked at as selfish, when you make time for yourself, how do you feel about that?
Unapologetic about my mental health.
Okay.
So
That's
I
real
had
good.
to, because I was always just wanting to do for everyone.
Yeah.
And I would procrastinate for the things that were for me.
Just making note, just noticing.
You know, and it would always get lower and lower on the list.
You.
I would.
Okay.
Right? So I would tell people you have to be unapologetic about you.
Okay.
Because everything that's you're supporting is nothing without you in a proper mental state, physical state. So, stop putting you last.
Yeah, for sure.
You really have to. I think people that word about being selfish. We hear that a lot, and I think that's just a bad rap right there. So start putting you. Yeah, you have to put you first. You have to put you first because if everything falls apart, some sort of way you're gonna figure out how to put you first.
You have to.
So do we have to get to a state where everything falls apart before you decide, right?
Being real, are we being transparent? 9 times out of 10, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Because you can learn from it.
Yeah. So listening to this show right now, be unapologetic about you and your mental health. And that's very, very important. Very important.
I want to commend y'all on your early start and your preparation for the morning. Because mine started before I go to sleep.
Okay.
That last hour before I go to sleep is all dedicated to my wind down so that I can be fresh in the morning.
Okay.
So
That's good.
My biggest thing is not right in the morning, is that last hour. How did I go to sleep? Where was my mindset when I laid down?
Yeah.
Did I clear my mind? Did I prep? Did I put my work clothes out so that I could just get up and I don't have to look for
Yeah, yeah.
Did I pack my
That makes
bag?
it better.
Did I do those things? And on my way to work, that's my Joel Osteen time. That's my Creflo time.
yeah.
I have this thing where me and my wife eats off the same plate.
Okay.
So if I'm reading a book or if I got a good message that morning, I'm sending it straight to her.
That's what's
so when
up.
she wakes up, she know where I was at spiritually, where I was at. So her having that same food spiritually allows us to apply the same principles throughout that day.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go.
Sometimes she beats me to it, like, hey, listen to this message. So once I listen to the message, I know how we're going to apply it to the day. It might be peace, it might be being humble, it might be giving message, but we are on that same page. And I am extremely big on oneness.
Yeah, that's huge. One Vision is, you know, that five-headed monster. Tear some stuff up. That'll tear some stuff
Yes,
up.
it will.
How often do you guys, I want you to go around the table just thinking about when you get off of your routine, if you will. When you get off of stuff and you know that you off, do you notice it? And how quick do you pull back and get back to making your time? Sure.
Oh, I noticed, like almost immediately, like one of the things you mentioned earlier, how sometimes things will get to fall behind or
Yeah,
piling up,
yeah.
like laundry and things like that. And it just really bothers me to come home and the house isn't clean.
Yeah. Me
Now,
too.
even though no one else is
Me
there
too.
but me, no one else will know that it's junky or something is out of place.
Yeah.
I know. And I can't rest knowing that something is undone, especially for an extended period
Right.
of time.
You like, they got to wait a week?
Right, exactly. And I don't
What's
want
going
to just
on?
exist. I want to live.
That
I
part.
don't want to go to work, come home,
Be like a
repeat,
zombie.
you know, every day. So
Yeah.
I have things that I'm going to do every week. I'm going to go to church. I'm
Yeah.
going to have brunch with
Yeah.
my friends.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going, if I'm invited out, you know, do some things that are intentional, that are outside of my 9 to 5.
Right.
I have a 30-year-old son. You don't stop parenting. I still talk to my mom
Ooh,
every
Lord, I
day,
thought
and I
so.
talk to my son, and we talk about business ideas, opportunities,
Yeah.
and you know he's still single. So until he gets a wife, I'm still mama.
Right,
You know?
that's true. And that part, until you get a wife, now don't be in your baby business because he don't shop.
No, let me tell you, he's a strong. His dad and I raised the king, a strong black man.
That's
so
what's up.
I-
That's what's
Yeah.
up. Fred, do you know when things are falling off, and are you disciplined enough to reel it back in?
Yes, yes. I'm much like you. I don't like rushing. So, and I'm like my brother down there, so I have to prepare the night before. So, if, like you were saying, if my laundry piled up on me, I said, all right. You know what I'm saying? If I forget to do my workout and I go to put on this shirt, and the butts is saying, not today. I said, okay, let me get back on this tomorrow morning, right? So,
Right.
For me personally, when I see areas in my life that I'm starting to neglect me, I snap back right away.
Okay,
Right away.
right away.
Right away.
I
And
was-
not just a few of the areas,
Yeah.
jokingly saying, but that's just a few of mine.
Yeah, for sure.
That gets me right back on track that next day.
I can say that too. When it comes to working out, try to go my 3 days a week, take my son. But if I feel like a little something up here, I'll be like, okay, wait. Did I go to the gym? I need to go. Or my laundry. I do not let my basket overflow. It's like when I see it, I'm at the top. I'm washing my clothes. You know,
Yes.
so when I seen a little bit hanging off, I was like, wait a minute, I've been running in and out. And that's the thing, when you go to sleep at night, that's real good because sometimes I'll be like, shoot, let me go jump in the shower. I'm out. I don't think about nothing because I done had a long day. So that's good that we can see, you know, the differences in each other when it comes to how we're making that time. And so when you think about prioritizing, do you see when things fall off immediately? Do somebody have to remind you? And do you get back on track when you find out?
I think I'm in a different area when it comes to prioritizing that, simply because I used to beat myself up if I got off track. If I dropped the ball in any area, I would just beat myself up. Now I'm more so
Giving yourself grace.
giving myself grace.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't go to the gym this week. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Understand that you still got it. You can do it tomorrow.
Right.
That has been where I'm at in my life, at just not beating myself up or condemning myself
Yeah.
for not being consistent with something.
That's good. So a lot of women feel like, you know, when we talk about battle of the sexes, because you guys are here, and tell me if I'm wrong. When men say they not making time, because they say, what do they say?
busy,
And what they doing?
busy with somebody else.
Making the money. You said somebody. They making the money. When you think about married, single, whatever, I gotta make this money.
busy with somebody.
You say with somebody else. Even if married, your wife's like, I need some time. I mean, it sounds like you got it going, and I commend you with that. It's intentional.
It's still a work in progress. That's, you know, I don't look for the perfection. I look for the consistency.
Yeah, it's the experience.
So there's going to be some ups and downs. You just focus more on your ups than your downs when
Yeah.
it comes to, whatever goal that you have. The goal is to maintain the goal. Keep your goal in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many days you take off, that goal is still there. And that has been like the grace that I've always needed, because I used to beat myself up so bad.
Yeah, that's good. But when it comes to your wife feeling some type of way, was you ever that type like, look, baby, I got to make money for the family because you working overtime, double time, 16, 12 hours a day?
Yes.
Yeah,
I got to make that money.
gotta make that money.
Tell me that ain't the case.
Well, and that would be me, but I've learned, like you were saying, not to beat myself up and to trim down. The energy I had in my life once upon a time had me working that way, not because I realized that things would come up, right?
Yeah.
Maybe on my end, but I had to make sure the other person, I can cover their things too. So for a man, being a father or a husband, you never want to say no, or I don't have it. So I was
Okay.
always working for the next situation.
Got you, because
understand
we
what
feel
I'm-
like it's an excuse. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, and every man that's watching, we know that you making the money,
Yeah, it's
you making the bread, but we know you don't know how much time you have though.
it's
true.
And
So you
absolutely.
gotta be intentional with making time, especially if we talking about women.
You have to maximize the time that's given as well. You know,
Yes.
my wife, I used to tell her, I can't make no money here sitting here hugging and kissing all day. as the years,
for an hour.
As the years went by, I realized how selfish that was, when there's always time to hug and kiss. But I would just say, sitting here being booed up all day, with the bills are piling up. When I didn't realize that those bills are going to be there.
Yeah.
But I got to make sure she be there. So,
Yeah.
so
Right.
you got to put
That
those
part,
hugs
sir.
and you got to put some kisses in.
For real.
You know, something cute with for the people that are listening. How does that look for you? How do you, if anybody can chime in, how do you know when you're slipping, and how do you snap back?
Yeah.
If it takes you time to type it in, we'll get back to it. But there's 4 of us on this panel here, but that should cover a lot of people. But if
Yeah.
it's something else that we can share with the listening audience, you guys type it in. What's that look for you, and how do you snap back?
So if we don't make time and we all over the place, you definitely will get burnt out.
Yes.
I've gotten to a place, honey, burnt out wasn't even I'm always like happy, optimistic, even when I'm not. I am, because why not? If we get to choose every day. But I got to a place where I found myself snapping. I don't snap. I do not. I come in peace.
Right.
I found myself snapping. I found myself being short. I found me not being like myself. So watch out for this. Watch out for, the signs of you not making time, not making the proper time, and especially for me being a life coach, making time for yourself. Self-love is huge. So I just want, you guys to talk about that. The first thing I tell people is be loud. Be loud about you. Because a lot of times we pouring out to everybody else. But you're so much better if you pour into yourself and it overflows on everybody else. We pour in our cup and it's not balanced. It's uneven.
Well, can I ask you a question? Because I had a problem with this.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys can chime in or anyone listening. I had a problem with overcommitting myself.
Yes. Not being able to say no to.
Right. I got that. Maybe I had the skill set for it. I figured I could figure it out. So I had a problem with overcommitting myself to everyone but myself.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where the snappiness comes from.
Yeah.
Because you
you
know what
tired
you
at
had
that
on your
point.
list, right? But then it's getting pushed down further and further, right?
You're
and I don't know if
tired.
you guys I just had a problem. I had to be transparent. I had a problem with overcommitting myself.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'm a Leo and I'm a bit selfish, so
Y'all keep
no,
talking
be
about
honest.
these.
Listen,
My
I'm gonna be
birthday
honest.
on
I'm
August
only
14th.
gonna
You're a Leo
extend
too,
myself
right?
so much.
I'm at wow, this is some Leo stuff happening.
What I,
Because I belong with Leos.
So I'm only going to extend myself so much.
same
So-
here.
Leos
Same here.
real, yes.
I strongly believe in of a love tank. My heart is like a love tank, and I believe 50% of this love tank is outwardly love.
Okay.
I reserve and save 50% from my inward love, so that even if I give out all the 50%, if someone still require me to dig into my other 50, then that's my red flag. Come on.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I say I have to be here at this point, and they're like, "No, I want you to still come do this." I know you're
And
trying
you
to tap
will feel
in.
it. Yep.
I know you're trying to tap into my 50%.
That overflow, they want the overflow, baby.
So yeah, making sure that your love tank don't go E. Being an outwardly loved person.
That's good.
Balance yourself.
When I think about,
Oh, someone chimed in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, who's the Websters?
The Websters, that's his wife. I know I'm missing out on my time with myself when I feel like I'm existing and not living. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's when you just, the mundane come in and you just every day, same thing. Hey, morning, driving by, getting your coffee. It's like nothing, you don't remember anything in between your days. I know
Absolutely.
exactly what you're talking about. I see it, it's almost like a movie plan. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, yeah, so being able to reel that back, that's real good.
I'm big on purpose over routine. Routine will have you feeling like you just in robot mode.
Yeah.
existing.
Absolutely.
When you have a purpose, you can always see how closer you're getting to your goals. So each
Yes.
day plays a part. Even if you didn't do what you did yesterday, you can see, okay, I'm getting closer to this purpose. But routine can sometimes make you just feel like you're just existing.
I'm just here, like, oh, they go,
Absolutely.
same old thing. You got something? I see
No,
you
no,
over there
but
with
actually,
see you over there with the
he dipping-
cars.
He dipping in my cars. Because when I stay in me personally, when I stay in purpose, I never get exhausted, and I'm more creative. You know, when I stay there,
Yeah.
so I'm not just in a routine like you just said. So, and then I have an understanding that each and every day it's not going to stay the same. So when I understand that, I learn how to be flexible when the change come in my day.
Yeah.
But I'll still go back to my notes, but I'm not getting frustrated. Anymore.
That's good. That's
good.
real good.
You understand what I'm saying?
I like your self-talk in that when you say the anymore thing. Most people struggle because they self-talk isn't
It's negative.
it's negative.
Yeah.
So you caught yourself saying something that you promised yourself you wasn't going to say.
Absolutely.
And that right there, that's the foundation of a purpose. If I know what my purpose is and know I'm going to remain positive, I have first got to check myself.
Yep.
Words, what's coming out of my mouth. Life
Absolutely.
and death is in that. So
Definitely.
to hear you do that says that you've been working on yourself.
Yes.
Sure have.
Yeah. And that's
On that love train.
And that's why I think it's important to journal, because you can
Yeah.
look back and see
How
growth.
far.
You can look and see your low points.
Yeah.
You can see your accomplishments, and and continue to work and strive and grow in areas where you were weak. I often ask myself, "What is your why? What is my why? Why am I doing this?
That's
why
good.
am I where I am? How am I going to get to the next level?"
That's good. So I want to, give something to single women, right? And I want you guys, you give something to men that may be in your position. Same with you. Same with you. When it comes to ways to make time for you. And as a single woman, I want to encourage women, date yourself, but do not do it with a negative mindset of not having that space open for somebody else to date you, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Did you follow me?
That does make sense.
Because we can get into this role of, oh, I'm good. I date myself, and it's an attitude. It's a demeanor, and it's not inviting at all. And so when you are intentional with dating yourself, do things that you really want to do. Don't do it with this negative thought in your mind like, I don't need nobody because I can just do it myself. No, you're just occupying your time until you see somebody that you would like to occupy your time with. And so that is my take. Real simple.
Okay.
Make time, take yourself out, but don't be negative with you taking yourself out.
I would speak
Negative
from
thoughts.
like you said, speak from the husband. My my time is the transitional time, which means if I'm going from east to west, I'm turning my car into a library. I'm turning my car into my prayer session or my meditation, because I may not be able to do that
When you get home.
when I get home.
Yeah.
And I be open and honest with my family. I might need 45 minutes when I get in the
Okay.
house to woosah, so that I don't snap on you or dump the rest of my day on my spouse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I've done it. I've came home and haven't shook off the rest of the work day, and as soon as she asks me to do something, I'm lashing out like, I ain't made it through the door yet.
Okay.
You asked me to do it. So
Yeah.
I've learned to communicate that I might, once I hug the kids, I need about 5-10 minutes.
That's
to
much,
myself.
that's so grown up. That's real good. Hopefully women will be able to take that though. That's a whole nother story.
over here with
What
the
you
moon.
mean? It depends on where she at. That's why a man that finds a wife find a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want to hear it.
And that goes back to what you were saying earlier, how you share the food in the beginning of the day
Yeah.
with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will go for all men. So okay. So for me, for the men, first thing I would say, and I've said it before, stop chasing cash.
Right.
Right. When you chase money, it'll have you compromise yourself.
Definitely.
Run
Okay.
after purpose. Purpose will have you make sacrifices, but you won't compromise you. Right. Then I would say be peaceful. Be great. Once again, walk in purpose, because people need to know you were here.
That's good.
Because
Leaving that legacy.
we're not here forever.
Yeah.
But when you do these things, I believe you leave breadcrumbs for someone. But people need to know you were here.
That's good.
So be great.
Okay. Period. And so you brought up your age being 50. You still open to love, right?
Absolutely.
You looking for him to find you, and
And he will.
he will.
And he will. But one of the things you had said, honestly, I was the person that, I would never go out by myself. I just didn't see myself in that position.
Okay.
And I love it. I love it. And I'm not talking about throwing on a pair of sweats and
Oh, no,
a
baby,
t-shirt.
you better get dressed.
Step out.
You
And
better
whether
stop.
it's my car or a plane. And I have met
Yes.
some fabulous people all
That's
over.
so good. That's so good. So what would you give sisters that may be conscious about their age, not knowing you are what you feel, right? So being in this space and making time, what would you give them if it's one thing you can give them?
You know, I think we make the mistake a lot of times of waiting for someone else to make us happy. And ultimately, that is your own responsibility.
That's good.
It's my responsibility from day to day, make sure I have a sound mind, that physically, that I'm in good shape by, seeing a nutritionist, a doctor,
Yeah.
doing things that will make me healthy and whole so that when God sends someone, I'm prepared.
Oh, that's so good. This grown woman over here, okay?
Yes.
I knew it. I was like, yes, come on, sister. I just want to remind everyone, it won't be perfect, nor will you be able to please everyone. But again, showing that grace and being patient with yourself and just understanding, you trying your best.
Yeah.
When you try your best, what else can you give? It's when you start making stipulations, not even trying, not giving that, that proper energy to something that you say you want. A lot of people want a happy home. They want good friendships, lasting friendships, but they're not willing to put the time or the work in.
Absolutely.
And that's, kind of the issue. Just finding things, changing up your routine a little bit.
Yes.
That routine, man, that can get you real stale.
Real
and before you
stale.
know it, you like, dang, all this time that went by, all this, all
I
this
agree,
time.
Q, because when you just said that routine is still, when I think of that, it's no growth in routine because you're just doing things the same way all the time. It's no growth there at all.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here to grow.
So, do you guys feel a way when a woman says she got to make time for herself?
No, because I'm going to reap from it. I'm going to reap from you processing yesterday. I'm going to
Yeah.
read from you dealing with your emotions. I'm going to read from you journaling. All the effort that you put into yourself, I'm going to reap from that.
That's good.
So I look forward to my wife doing things, and it wasn't something that she was strong at, like spending time with herself.
Yeah.
But over these past 10 years of being married, just watching her just
Flourish.
make time for herself,
Yeah.
she comes back better.
That's so good.
She
Man.
comes back lighter.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
Even if it's just listening to her own song.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, whatever it is that will make her lighter, it always benefits me.
Yes.
So I think that's mentality, right? So do you feel some type of way if a woman say she need
No,
that time to herself?
Not at all. I could be on the phone with a good friend, and I will suggest it that you go ahead. No, let me let you go and stuff. So you can go ahead and take care of, take a shower, whatever you need to do. Because my thing is to cut it off before it's asked, right? So you go ahead and offer, because in most cases, when it
They won't
has to be
stop.
requested, it's always halfway a situation, right? So I get to the point, or I think all men should, I said, we don't really have to be on the phone like this. Or, or if, like, when you're married, just like we come in the house and we want to need a little space, offer it to your wife. I agree with you, because a night out with the girls, as long as you come home that same night. And
Shots fired.
Right.
But however, you reap the rewards of that. So I agree with you 100% on that. But I will say what I know now: offer it before it's asked.
What does that look like?
And not with the girls do help.
It helps.
Because they offer love and they offer affection and their time and conversation that I may not be able to offer.
That's good. So that's making
or
that
they may
time.
just, if you're married, she may listen to a couple conversations and make her appreciate you.
all the time. All the
Like,
time.
woo, be sitting up there
Like,
like,
oh, let me get home. I'll see y'all later.
oh my God.
For real. I do want to give a shout out to everyone who is watching. Thank you so much. You could have been anywhere, but you are on here and you're listening in. I thank you for your comments. I see you guys. Shay, Samantha B, Miss Ray, Elena, Richard Blackwell. Thank you guys so much. The Websters, you've been showing your love and you've been present. Thank you so much for being present. Being present is huge. And so with our last few minutes, I want you guys to really give our listening audience a gem. Leave them with something that has helped you in this year alone. Ladies first.
I'd like to say you only get one life to live. Live it to the fullest. And again, don't wait on anyone else to make you happy. Be blessed.
Amen. That's what's up.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead, Fred.
Let me see one thing.
Pull out the cards.
No, I'm gonna flip them over for this. One thing was first on my list that I had to realize I had to understand me. Okay. So I had to take out time to understand myself before I attempted to understand anyone else. And one other thing, controlling your desires. It can be food, making money, just overindulging in anything. Learn how to control, especially for us man. You will see if you learn how to control your desires, you will have minimal regrets and make better decision making.
That's what's up. So good. Webster?
Well, speaking from where I'm at in my marriage, I would say play on each other's strengths. Wherever your partner is strong at, don't be jealous of it. Welcome it because it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
That they activate that. Working as one is like the best way you can be. Not being intimidated.
Yes.
Celebrate them. Appreciate what they add to you. Because sometimes we only focus on what we're doing for them. But when you take the time to appreciate how they're making your life easier. My wife makes my life extremely easy to the point where I'm always singing her praise, because before then I was very overwhelmed. And
Okay.
I spread myself thin by
Yeah.
doing this and being there for this person, being there. I don't even have to do that no more. I got one woman to please, and I can exhaust that effort.
That's
to
so
one
good.
person.
I used to say, is this man real? He be posting stuff. I'm like, boy, bye. You on some foolishness. Look, I see him the other day. I see him the other day at the plane. I said,
She's like,
you are real.
You are a real person.
No, he went live. That was the first time I said it.
Okay.
You went live, and I was like, oh, you are real. You know how people making fake pages. I was like, I don't know. He going too. He going hard. He going hard.
I must say, I've been wanting to be like a husband and a father since I was a kid.
Oh, that.
So
See?
that matters. That
That
matters.
does matter.
I didn't just wake
Look,
up
my
one
brother.
day. I didn't wake up one day and say, I want to get married. Like I've been wanting to be a husband and father for a very long time. So,
God had to respect you.
yeah, so when I got that, because I call it 3 lives. I lived my single life to the max. Then I was like, okay, I traveled, I did that. Now I want to do it with somebody else. That's a second life.
Okay.
Then when we did everything we wanted to do, let's have children, and we could. That's a third life. So I'm very.
That was
fulfilled.
strategic.
I'm very fulfilled.
Won't he do it? Listen, won't he do it? So with these last couple of moments, I just want to encourage you guys. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you got something from this show. I hope you take something from this. Make sure you share with your family and friends. If you have not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button. So just a few ways to make time for yourself. Again, I told you, remember, everything won't be perfect and you can't please everyone. Find things you enjoy doing. Long gone are the days of hoping and wishing and praying. If what's that? This pandemic didn't show you anything. It is your life can be turned upside down overnight. So make sure you're making the best of your time. Change up your routine. Go phone free for a period. Like fast from your phone sometimes because it can be distracting, to say the least. All of the things that's pulling for your attention, just be mindful of that. And invite your family into an open time that can be uninterrupted. A lot of times we have times where, we trying to get together, but something happened, your phone ring. It should be no hands down. Nobody can get into that space. So just be real intentional with that. Last thing, pray. Pray. Meditate, pray some more. But just be intentional with that. I want to thank you guys so much. Join Mr. Chef Wilson and the fellas next week for the men's edition.
Yes.
I just